And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate y'all. Bryan Broaddus sick of me, but it is all right.
It is all right, but let me tell you this.
Yes, sir.
When you give me a homework assignment, Professor Man.
I apologize.
Dr. Voch.
Yeah.
When you want me to study players.
Yes, sir.
And I go study players. I don't want to hear you walking in the classroom saying, Bryan,
what I say?
These guys,
what I say?
Bryan Broaddus, you ought to see these players I've watched. Oh, were they that happen to be the guys that you assigned to me? No.
I don't talk like that.
I signed players to you last night. Whoa, no. Bryan Broaddus, no. I watched a couple of edge rushers. I watched somebody. I didn't watch running backs. No.
Trey Harris can play though, bro. Trey Harris can play though, bro. Look, Bryan, we were supposed to watch the two running backs today, Kyle Manunga and Jarquez Hunter from Rutgers and Auburn.
Would you like to tell our audience if you watched either one of those lads yesterday? Today, for that matter.
I didn't watch those lads, Bryan. But look, we have this list of 12 that we're gonna get through this week.
Yeah.
The guys are on the list, Bryan. You just didn't watch them.
But the idea of the show, Professor, is that you and I have this interaction.
Yes, sir.
When we watch the players, because you'll go, Bryan.
What I said?
When I was watching this guy,
I said that.
Yeah, Bryan. When I was watching this, I can't do that really cool Mississippi twang that you have.
Yes, sir.
I can't do that.
Yes, sir. I understand.
But now you're calling me sir, which you're being patronizing. What is the word?
No,
patronizing?
Sir. No, sir.
Being patronizing?
Yes.
Yeah, you are. Yes, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Bryce, my bad.
You know, when you said you didn't watch the players,
yeah,
my action was like,
you didn't even move. You was stone faced just like that.
I didn't move. Like I had to jump dude's ass on the draft show today.
Yeah.
I had to jump people. I wish you were there so I could have jumped your ass.
You weren't gonna jump me, bro. I fight. I fight. So you ain't finna jump me, bro. Good luck to you, sir. Good luck. But listen, I was supposed to watch Jarquez Hunter and Kyle Manunga.
No, didn't do that.
Because what was gonna happen is on my desk, it was supposed to be like this.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was turned over. So I was like, oh, man, I'm going to go ahead and knock out them edges in that wide receiver.
Maybe if you weren't doing 27 other podcasts, you'd probably know that you could do your work for me.
The rent's due, Bryan Broaddus. We need the benefactor to come on in. So
tell me, trust me. I've talking to bankers and stuff all day.
So we're gonna talk about players Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, bro. It's all gonna work out. Just believe me, trust me, Bryan. It's all gonna work out. But today we're going to talk about something that happened on the draft show. And I'll just say this. Man, Bryan Broaddus, man, I'm telling you, man, man, you was telling me about a little fight you had today. Now I think you might be.
Tommy Yarch and I had a little disagreement today. Young Tommy, he threw it out there.
That made me feel like you scared of me because you don't fight when I'm there, Bryan. You always fight when I'm gone, when I'm off the show.
I hate the fact that you agreed with me on this player. That's what I needed. Hey, I don't need you to agree with me on this Nolan, this defensive tackle from Ole Miss, because now I'm worried that I saw the player the wrong way.
Nah, look, if me and you agree, I'm most likely. I don't even want to say that.
Woolchuck went too.
He went
Woolchuck's
with Tommy.
Woolchuck's kind of Woolchuck gave us, Bryan. There's some things I see. I think you got a point there. But you know what? I agree with Tommy. I think this guy's Woolchuck tried to sell it where like Woolchuck was talking about Ursary, the tackle from Minnesota.
Sure.
And as he's reading, I go, that dude's got some slow feet.
Yeah.
I just say it. I'm not trying to make you feel good about your player.
Sure. Bryan, this is the problem with Walter Nolan. And it's not even really a problem. And I'll fight Woolchuck and Tommy if they like. Yeah. Walter Nolan is a good player. Fantastic
He's a good player.
But the problem with Nolan is why I can't watch too much of the same unit at one time.
Yeah.
Because if you watch Kenny Grant, Tyleek Williams, Derek Harmon, and Deion Walker. If you watch those 4 guys, and then you go watch Walter Nolan, you know what you're gonna say? Damn, but this Nolan kid moving mighty slow compared to these other 4-5 guys.
Yeah.
This is a really good year for the high motor, athletic, good first start, but also strong defensive tackle, Brian. I got a problem with the damn defensive tackles that ain't strong. That's why I got TJ Sanders at the bottom of the 3rd here. I got a problem with defensive tackles that ain't strong, right? So when I watch Walter Nolan from Ole Miss, he is strong.
Yeah.
But these other 5 are strong, and they more athletic than him. And it doesn't help that I think Walter Nolan is kind of stumpy and unbalanced.
See, they're going to argue. Bobby Belt today on the show threw at me. It's like, Bobby looked at me and goes, I think you're going to be really surprised, Brian, the way this guy works out at the combine. And he threw out scouts are talking about this guy with the athletic ability and stuff like that. So I'm like, cool.
I ain't see it on my film.
So this is what I did. And I think Tommy is a draft show first timer. And Aisha Morris and I were talking about this. I said, hey, Bud, do you remember the first time I asked you what games you watched on a player? She goes, from that point on, I always wrote down what games I watched on these players. I go, you got to do that, because the first thing I asked Tommy Yarish is, I go, Tommy, what games did you watch? Because that makes me want to go watch them.
Yep.
That makes me. Tell me what games you're watching. If I'm in a discussion with you about a player,
tell me the good game. So maybe I missed it.
Tell me what you watched. Okay, Tommy, these are games I watched. LSU, Georgia, Alabama. Yep. And he's like, Brian, I'm sorry, I don't. And I'm like, okay, we learned a lesson today. And for everybody out there that's watching this, if you ever get in a discussion with somebody and on when you leave a comment on our YouTube channel here, and I ask you, what games did you watch? Tell me what games you watched. That way I could go back and look at it myself. Maybe I've seen different games than you.
Yeah.
So, if Tommy would have told me, well, I watched Mississippi State, I watched Southwestern Louisiana, now I know to go and watch those games, because that's now I can see, okay, what did he see? What did I miss?
Sure.
And I think, but these guys are telling me Nolan, like, badass athlete.
Yeah.
I think a good athlete. And they're talking about him blowing away the combine, stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, I don't think I'm going to move Nolan. I don't. But if I, man, there's these defensive ends.
Yeah.
I'm saying this with clenched teeth.
They're going to stack up in there.
Yeah, these defensive ends. Like, I mean, I hate this now. I hate this. I don't have a really great handle on those A&M kids.
Yeah.
I hate that I don't have a handle on Nolan at defensive tackle.
Yeah.
That I feel like, because we all work together in the draft show. You and I do our show together. I learn more working with you and interacting with you, because if you see a player a certain way, that makes me feel better, because then when I describe a player and you see, I'm not always wanting to agree with you, but it makes me feel better that somebody that's done this, that's looked at these players for a long time, they know what they're looking for. They know what they're looking at. And so it helps me when I'm like, okay, I didn't see this guy wrong. There's some guys you see wrong. There are some guys you flat see wrong. Sure. I've sat in draft rooms and watched scouts talk about players, and others are like, you really see that? And it makes you, like you said, you're watching all the same position.
Sure.
And you get in a rut.
Yeah.
And you start. But anyway, I you know what? I'll wait and see on Nolan. Yeah. I know one thing. I have him in the 3rd round. I don't have him. I wouldn't take him. I wouldn't take him at 44 when all these guys are talking. I would, if you're looking for another defensive tackle, I would take Sanders from South Carolina over him. I'd take Norman Lott, the hyphenated name from Tennessee. I'd take him over Nolan.
That's athlete right there, Norman Lott.
There you go. Yeah,
and man,
there you go.
Brian, some I'll do. I'll just kind of share this with you. What I'll be doing behind the scenes, just while me and you talking, I'll just go and find clips that I've been saving, right? I'm like, cool, let me just look back at Nolan just to kind of see what I'm, where I'm at with. Like what plays jumped out to me, with him, whether it be this year at Ole Miss, last year he was one of the A&M kids and all that. Yeah, I'm just constantly, just going back and refreshing myself, right? And I keep going back, Bryan, because I feel like I'm missing something. When I'm hearing people, when I'm hearing a lot of people say something different than what I'm saying, I'm constantly going back and just double checking my work. I may not change my mind because I might be right, but I'm just constantly double checking my work. And he's fine, Bryan. He's a very strong player. He can be disruptive, get a little high sometimes. I think his motor can be up and down sometimes, whatever. Quick hands. I could take quick hands. I don't think he's the athlete that some of these other guys are, Bryan. That's
what every man, I mean, like Bobby and
look at this kid Harmon, Bryan. This kid Harmon is a different kind of athlete to me. The Ole Miss kid, the Oregon kid, right? Oregon kid, right? I think Oregon is a much different type of athlete than Walter Nolan is. So when I come to the party and me and you talking, I'm like, hey man, I value Norman a little more because I think his motor runs much hotter and I think he's much more athletic. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So this is what I'm doing backstage while me and you talking. I'm like, cool, let me pull up some clips on, Nolan and them and da. So I'm with you, man, and I'm not really here to change my mind on it. Nolan is. Let me pull up my big board because I can. Well, let me fix you first. Let me pull up my big board because I can actually see it, Bryan. I got defensive tackle. I'm just reaching out, touching it. I got Nolan at the top of the third. He's my best third round guy, but he's after Graham, Michigan, Grant, Michigan, Williams, Ohio State, Walker, Kentucky, Harmon, from Oregon. That's where I got him at.
Yeah. I can say I'm going to die on that hill. I'm going to die on that hill because I don't think this kid is a great pass rusher. I think he's got great strength, but I don't think he's a great pass rusher.
Yeah, sometimes he whoops people in front of him sometimes. Yeah, and it happens. Yeah. And look, sometimes it happens real fast. Sometimes it happens fast because he's strong, Bryan. But consistently, you see the athleticism from Harmon and Walker and somebody, even Tyleik Williams, who's the biggest size-wise out of all these guys. Yeah. His big ass start to moving around fast. And I think that's more impressive than what we get from Nolan.
Williams at Ohio State, you could see him play up and down the line, and 329 pounds.
Yeah,
that dude is not a sloppy guy. I mean, now you can watch him in some of this playoff football the last 3 weeks, and Notre Dame had the idea of kind of trying to run that football last night. They couldn't run a lick against that front.
Yeah,
couldn't run a lick. And it's because of guys like Williams and Stewart and our guy JTT or what's our JTT, right? Is
JTT, guy yes, sir. Tuamolau.
Yes. Yeah. So, what I'm saying? They couldn't run. Yeah. They could not run against these guys. And so, look at this big guy. Look at that. That's a big man getting in. Look, he's playing on your side of the line of scrimmage.
That's like 340 pounds too, bro. That's a big old dude.
Look at him. Look at him make that thing have to redirect the other way because he is so far up the field.
Yep.
Look at the double team right there. Get off the block. Look at that.
Yeah.
And that's Oregon. That ain't freaking, some bad school that he's playing against right there.
Yeah.
He's controlling blocks. Here is Notre Dame game. Yeah, this is probably from a couple of years ago. This is in South Bend.
Last year, yeah.
But yeah. But see, that's what I'm saying. This son of a gun, man, those are the guys give me at 44, give me those guys.
Yep.
Give me those guys. And you've said this, and I think you're absolutely right about this. There's going to be a run on these one techniques.
Yeah. Yep.
Whether Dallas starts it or not. Hell, that thing might start at damn 17, 18, 19, somewhere right around there.
Could be.
If there's only 15 first-round grades on people's boards, get ready for them defensive tackles to come off there at 15, 16, 17.
Yeah.
I think you're right about that. You might have an opportunity to get somebody at 44, maybe.
Honestly, Bryan, I feel like once these guys are gone, these one techs are gone, I think you're probably waiting till like the 6th or 7th round to get another one tech. Because typically, in my mind, Bryan, that's what these noses are, these big one techs. They're really 7th round
guys. Collins, where do you have Collins from Texas? I got Collins from Texas in the 3rd round. Have I got the right guy? I believe I got the right guy.
I got Alfred Collins also in the 3rd. I got him behind Nolan and Norman Lott.
Yeah.
I got Collins in. Collins is a great athlete, great size, strong, but he's kind of raw. He doesn't really put the football together. Kind of gets lost, kind of loses.
Kind of pops out of his stance.
Very tall, loses the ball carry. Not great with his hand, not consistent with his hands. He can be strong sometimes, but he's just not consistent with it. But cool player.
Right. I mean, he can flash stuff. He has physical traits. But there's some of these mental ones, and you mentioned the ball going by him and stuff. Not talking about mental not being smart, just like you said,
just awareness.
You see the ball, awareness. Yeah. I mean, he's there's some things with the body control and the balance could be a little bit all over the place, but that's what you might be looking at, when you get past that run of all those defensive tackles.
Sure,
he might be one of the last guys. That you might like.
Boy, I wish I was there for this one, boy. Brian, what I need is like an iPad or like a laptop or something. So when I'm having these I just turn that film around. This what you talk about? This the one right here that you talking about? I would love to be able to do that, Brian. I'm gonna give me a laptop, man. Give me a laptop for the film.
Tell you what, I don't know, man. Maybe it's just the history of the draft show. But I think if you're in that room, you're open to criticism. They're welcome to criticize my pick, whatever, and question me. And that's part of it. We're all friends walking out of that room. And I would say you're trying to create that environment. Yeah. Our show, you're in my show. We're trying to create a, almost like the draft show, investigate and educate. Sure. That's what are we going to be right all the time? No. We have an idea of, can we compare to maybe some of the guys we've seen before? That I think always helps our audience a little bit. But did you hear about me and Wolchuk getting in a discussion about this offensive tackle from Minnesota?
Tell us about the Ursary argument and tell me why Wolchuk think that slow feet are okay.
You went right at him. I wish I would have come at that line because he started reading the player and I went, God, he's got slow feet. And Wolchuk looked up and goes, I knew you were going to say that. Yeah. I knew you were going to hate this guy. I go, I don't hate this player.
He just got slow feet.
I just can't stand linemen with slow feet. I can't. I don't like linemen with slow feet.
Sure.
The linemen with slow feet haven't got me yet. Now, the offensive tackle that lacks power and strength, that guy has got me. Yep. That guy has got me. But the lineman with slow feet.
Every time.
It seems like the Giants take every single slow-footed lineman there is, and then I watch the Cowboys just manipulate that.
Hernandez and all them boys, John Michael and all that. Yeah.
All those guys, all those big slow-footed dudes,
Yeah.
But anyway, we got in discussion. Wolchuk, we had and I encourage folks to watch the draft show, especially watch the draft show next Thursday when Voch is back on the draft show.
Watch all the shows. Watch all the shows.
But anyway, Wolchuk, Kyle asked us to pick a couple of linemen that aren't first round linemen that might be considerations, for the Cowboys. And Zach happened to pick our guy Ursary from Minnesota.
Yeah.
And he read the report and all that, went through it, and I'm like, okay, cool. That's great. I like it. Like what you did here.
Yep.
And actually he read two. He went, I think he did both. He did Wyatt Millam, from West Virginia. And then he did Ursary. But
you and Wolchuk think Millam is a tackle, right? Because I got him at guard.
No.
Okay.
No, I got him at guard. He's a guard. I told Wolchuk. Wolchuk thinks he's a tackle.
Okay. No.
Wolchuk thinks he can play tackle.
Another slow-footed tackle for Wolchuk, huh? But y'all look, I wasn't up in there. Y'all look, I wasn't up in there.
Well, Wolchuk is he likes strong guys. So I give him some credit. He likes powerful guys. But I'm like, and he's talking about him. He's reading him, and I'm thinking, okay, this kid's only played football since his junior year in high school. The length, okay, I like the length, carries his hand slow, brings them up, lock out, but bully them. But man, this is where I had a problem with him because I just like the waist bending, the straight legged, the tall for the position. when they rush him down the middle, good rushes to the corners. That's where he's all over the place, And I, I just said this again. One thing, I didn't feel like he really moved all that well as compared to other tackles I've studied. That was a note that I typed out here.
Yeah.
So, in the last line, maybe need time to develop as a pass blocker and work on developing quicker feet, especially as in his pass set. I think he's slow getting out.
Yeah.
And I don't know, when you're playing against these edges in the NFL, it's tough. If you can't get away from the line, they're on you. Micah Parsons is on you.
Yeah.
Circles.
They're going to run circles around you. Yeah.
Yeah. These guys, I mean, these bendy edges, when they get on you, you're toast.
Yeah.
You're toast. So Zach really likes the kid. I don't hate the kid. I know you and I've had this discussion before.
Sure.
I've got him last of the guys in the third round.
Yeah.
Trapillo from up there in Boston College,
okay.
Charles Grant, William and Mary, Cameron Williams from Texas. That's another kind of a questionable guy. And then Ursere from Minnesota there in the third round. I've kind of got all those guys right there, but to me, the athletes are the Trapillo from BC and Charles Grant from William and Mary. Those are athletes, third round. The other two guys, Cam Williams and Ursay, kind of a little bit big, massive guys that don't move all that great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Brian, I got Ursary at the bottom of the second right now.
Okay.
And it's like he was a little higher in the second, but it's like the more guys you watch, the more he'll fall, right? So I ended up watching and listen to the feet on this lineup: Connerly from Oregon, Grant from William and Mary, and Mimbao from Missouri. Like those,
I think it's called Bo. I think it's pronounced Bo.
Mimbo,
just Bo. Yeah, the M's not pronounced. Kyle was trying to tell me because I brought him up as a guy today.
No. So there's Armand Mimbao from Missouri.
Mimbao. Okay. Oh, you're talking about Mimbao, not the.
But then there's Marcus and Bo from. Okay. So
Bo.
It's Bo.
Okay. I'm sorry. That's who I thought you were talking about. The Purdue kid. My bad. I wasn't talking Mimbao.
And honestly, Brian, I really like Purdue. Bo. I really liked him. Yeah. But it's just he'll go backwards sometimes. Like the power kind of, and I think if teams are going to play him
he's a smaller guy, and he's probably not. He doesn't fit your eye. I get it. You're going to tell me I don't like this guy. He's 300 pounds. I don't like the way. I
like him at tackle though. I love him at tackle, but if teams are going to play him at guard, then I can't love him at guard. But I got Minnesota kid right up under Connerly, Grant, and Mimbao from Missouri.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
I just sent Woolchuck a text. I asked if he got 3 minutes. Can I call him? And I just want to hear him defend his people. I don't know if he gonna answer, but I just want to see him defend his guys.
Oh, he'll defend Zach. I'll tell you one thing about Woolchuck.
Yeah,
he lives for the fight.
Yeah,
he does live for the fight. He really. I mean, you could call him all kinds of names, and he'll fight you.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, I've been on G-Bag of the day for fighting him on players and stuff.
Brian, one of these offensive linemen, though, one of these tackles that have really fallen down the board for me is your LSU kid, your right tackle Jones, Emory Jones.
Yeah.
You too. He's fallen down your board too.
Yeah, the thing about him is, and like I've got him actually in the fourth round myself, and. And I don't know. Do you have him in the third? Do you have him?
I got him at the bottom of the third till I watched some more tackles. But yeah, that's where he is.
Okay, yeah. I mean, okay. He's a starter at right tackle. This kid started every game since his freshman year of 2022 for my Tigers, and he plays the majority of the games in a 2-point stance. And it's really rare to see him put his hand on the ground.
Yep.
His technique can be really good, and then it just goes by the wayside. I mean, he's a little herky-jerky in the way he plays. He's not the type of guy that comes flying out of his stance as a pass blocker. He can be somewhat deliberate in the way he plays, the range. The length helps him as a pass protector. His hands can be off the way. He'll miss, and then he'll fight to try and reset, and then he'll end up outside the frame. And it could be. I mean, he could rock a defender. I mean, I've seen him rock dudes.
Sure.
South Carolina, Alabama, he could rock them, and he gets his hands inside. But there's snaps too where like you see him bend his knees and drop and find that ability to maintain his balance.
Sure.
But he can also work rushers past the quarterback. He just doesn't have the quickest feet.
Yeah.
Or the footwork is somewhat solid. The thing about him is he isn't perfect, and he will need some real work on his hands and his feet. But this dude is mean. He's tough, and he's played in a ton of big games. And I call him battle tested. I should probably have the Minnesota kid right there with him in the 4th round, and I don't.
Yeah.
But there's similar traits, 6'6", 315, but man, it's just hard for me. If you're not an athletic tackle, if you're not an athletic lineman, I just think it's hard.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to play. And, it's those 2 or 3 plays a game where you're just not quick enough that you get beat and it costs your team the game.
It'll just wreck you. Yeah.
I see that a little bit with Emory Jones.
Yeah.
And I see that with our guy from Minnesota as well.
So he's in the 3rd round for you. Ursery.
And you know what? To be honest with you, him and Jones, I might as well have them both in the 4th. I might as well. I've seen more of Jones because I watch LSU play every week.
Sure.
So I know what kind of player he is. It's like the thoughts I have about Campbell on the left side.
Yeah.
So yeah.
My whole thing about Ursery, his feet are slow, but at least he does like move people. Like he's a big, strong dude.
Oh, he'll move. Yeah. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So in the run game, he can drive people off the football there, but everybody's not Micah Parsons. But everybody got a pass rusher that can bend and kind of move a little bit. So that's rough.
Yeah.
Like, do you like? I don't, because he's so tall. But there's been this renaissance of these taller used to be tackles that didn't work out that just end up playing guard,
inside.
Right? Yeah. Becton is a guy that plays guard now. Some of these other guys. Now, if Ursery can line up and play some damn guard, then we can party. But I think he's a little high. He's a little tall.
This is where you talk about with Becton, who's the Philadelphia. He was a 1st round pick with the Jets. They tried to play him as tackle, slow-footed guy. You're kind of like, man, okay, it's gonna be a problem. But see, he is so big. He is so big and powerful. That's why that he playing in a small area is good for him. It's good. He's battling dudes that are roughly now. When he deals with a quick one, there could be some problems.
Yeah.
But when he's dealing with big dudes on big dudes, and I'm talking about Becton, that's a fit. It's an absolute fit for a guy that big.
Yeah.
To be playing that position. I think that Jeff was Wolchuk. He answered you.
Yeah. He says he's I guess he's doing something, but he's walking to the car shortly, I guess. So we may have
he had to speak. He had to speak tonight. They brought him back to North Texas, the university.
Yeah.
He spoke to a class, a journalism class. Him and Chiafalo. Yeah, exactly. Chiafalo was dressed like he was going back to school. I think he was wearing like pajama pants and like but Wolchuk was dressed nice. Chiafalo was looking like he was going back to school. So yeah, they were. Yeah.
Well,
he's got to drive from Denton over to Plano, so he'll have time. Just wear his ass out about that.
Well, Brian, I must say, I declare that we must wait, let me well, the Bryan Broaddus, see the fancy violins are playing and the da da da. Boy, y'all look, I can't find my damn fancy violin music, Brian, bro. I was gonna get on Wolchuk. There it is. I have a speech in Denton. I must talk to the children from North Texas. I need this. Brian, hurry.
Hey, I got the opportunity one time to do one of those speeches.
Yes.
And they asked me, goes, well, how did you get involved? What is? I'm like, there's not a damn thing I studied to get me my job. I got fired as a scout.
Yeah.
And then I got in the media. And I go, there's not a damn thing I studied to get this. But Wolchuk and Chiafalo, I'm sure everybody was like, bravo.
Self-taught,
hey, well
man.
done.
We are self-taught, Bryan Broaddus. It is what it is, man.
We are the school of hard knocks for sure.
For sure. All right, Bryan. Let's talk. Let's write down some players for tomorrow, Bryan. Try not to give me no attitude, please, if you don't mind.
Are you sure you want to do this, Professor?
Let's see. Don't give me no attitude, Bryan. All right.
No attitude. All right.
Okay.
Who do you got?
These are the players I watched today.
All right. I'm with you.
Josiah Stewart, the edge from Michigan.
All right. So it's Stewart.
Then
from
Michigan.
He's an edge, Michigan edge?
Yep.
Okay. So I got an edge from Michigan. Okay. Go ahead.
Then we got Tyler Barron from Miami.
Ooh. Okay. Tyler Barron. He's a position?
He's an edge. He's another edge. Yep.
Why did you watch all these edges today?
It was an accident. It was an accident. Sometimes I'll watch an edge, but all right, let me compare them to this edge and see how they're different. And wide receiver, everybody been waiting for this one, Bryan. Trey Harris.
Okay, yeah, I know he's on my list to do too until you start giving me homework assignments.
Yep.
Wide receiver, Hottie Toddy. Okay, got it.
So tomorrow, what we're gonna do, Bryan, is we're gonna talk about 5 players.
So I got the
Rutgers
running back.
Yep.
Running back, and then you got Hunter from Auburn.
Rutgers running back. Yep.
Okay, so that's 5.
Yep.
So I got to do three cats, and you got 2 cats.
Yep.
All right. Good deal.
Yep. And that'll leave us with 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll leave us with 5 guys for Friday. For Friday. Yep.
Okay.
So hey man, it worked out.
I gave us a shout out. Matter of fact, they let me give us our show a shout out on the radio today.
Oh, did they?
Because we had draft talk. Because when Wolchuk and Chiafalo left, I give Galvin Dawson some credit. He spun that thing into draft talk, and we had a good 20-minute draft talk. I said, listen, a lot of platforms you want to, people are like, oh, well, this is great talk. Da da da. I'm like, listen, I'm on with Love of the Star with Bobby. I'm on with the draft show with all my guys. Voch Lombardi and I have a podcast on YouTube you need to watch.
Okay.
It talks draft every night. And so, yeah, we got shout outs on the radio for all the things we do. So hopefully we can bring some more folks along on our journey with us.
Hey man, that sounds fantastic, Bryan Broaddus. You know how it is, man, when them suits start to hear you talk about other shows, man, and then what I'm saying. But thank you so much.
Listen, man, if you know what, hey, I in this day and age, we're here for the folk. We're here to, like I say, we're here to give people, discussions. This is important. The draft's important, man.
Yeah, it's
important for a team that all they do is draft. We got to figure these players out, and for 3 nights, dominate that.
Let me see something. What?
Oh, you're calling Wolchuk.
What up, Voch?
Zach Wolchuk, you are live on the Doing All Right podcast. This is Voch Lombardi and Bryan Broaddus, sir. I ain't gonna hold you long because I know you're a busy man with your button-up shirts and your fancy pants and shoes, doing all this little stuff. But man, Wolchuk, I just got a question, man. What's up with you and these slow-footed tackles, Wolchuk? Why do you like these tackles that got bad feet?
You don't like my guy from Minnesota?
I mean, I like him. He's just a bottom of the 2nd round, early 3rd round guy, but I like him there.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think if the Cowboys pick in the 2nd round, he'd be good. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
If you've got slow feet, but I can see you adjust to speed, which he did against Abdul Carter. Like early on, my man is fighting for his life. I will give you that.
Yeah.
But he figures it out, and he's able to drift Abdul Carter wide around the quarterback, and he's able to execute to where now Abdul Carter is not crushing the game anymore. And here's the thing. If you're going to be a giant and you're going to be slow-footed, you better be dominant in the run game.
Sure.
And he's damn good at the run game. This guy
you're right about that. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, you and I, look, I think we both love Milam and Booker for the same reason, Voch, and that's because they're mean, they're nasty, and they are just knocking people off the football. Yeah. I don't think with this Cowboys offensive line specifically, we see enough movement. That dude at Minnesota gets movement in the running game. So does Simmons from Ohio State. Simmons much more athletic, but my dude from Minnesota, I can work with the heavy feet there, I think, because he's so darn physical and strong.
I feel you, Woodchuck, but Simmons is different because he's the best tackle in the whole damn class, Woodchuck. So he's a little different.
Number one.
Yeah, but like when you're watching guys like Charles Grant from William and Mary and Connor Lee from Oregon, you don't see all that fantastic quickness, that lightness, and go, damn boy, I'd rather have that than all this grass killing we got going on with Ursery here.
Yeah, I got Connolly higher than Ursery.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
I think he's a guy that could end up being arguably the best tackle in the draft.
Yeah.
But he's not as mean.
Okay.
He's not as mean as Ursery is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yo, man,
so your whole idea is you're all about the nastiness, right, Woolchuck? Right? You're tired.
I want physical. I want a big physical line, man. That's what I want. Yeah, I'm tired of getting bitched around, for lack of a better word, boys.
Man, Woolchuck, that's cool till Schottenheimer and Kellen Moore come here and throw the ball 50 times a game and we got to pass it. Then it turns into a problem, Wooly.
Hey, if it's shoddy and he's playing Marty ball, he wants a heavy running game. My big offensive lineman will fit in really well with what Shoddy wants to do.
That's true. Yeah, just draft a second round tackle to replace your damn first round tackle. That sounds fantastic. I love it, Woolchuck. You know me.
Hey, we're gonna move him over to right tackle. Okay, we might have to get rid of Terrence Steele. I don't know. All right, I'm just. Maybe if you get a different offensive line coach, but I think Solari's hanging around if Schottenheimer's your head coach. That was his guy in Seattle.
Yeah. Hey, man, appreciate your time, brother. Thank you. It go okay tonight? Did you tell him how
it went great? It went great. Yeah, it went good. I can't tell you how many people were asking about Bryan Broaddus and all the draft work. So
stop lying. You're such a liar. I hate you when you
lie
to me
now,
like that.
but it was good.
Right,
yeah,
brother,
not a single person.
Thank you for you, man.
But they did ask you about Voch.
Oh yeah. Of course they asked
all right,
about Voch.
Take care, boys.
Appreciate you, Woolchuck. Salute, man. See, man, Brian, you gotta learn how to argue and fuss with these people. He's Ursery's a second, third round guy, right? You gotta learn how to fight with these people sometimes. I thought he was thinking Ursery was like a top 2 or 3 or something guy.
Oh no, he read him like he was a top 2 or 3 guy. I know that. So
he was enthusiastic. He was happy.
That's the first time I heard 2 and 3. I kind of thought that he was comparing him to Josh Simmons. He was talking in the same. Josh Simmons, and you're like, whoa, no, whoa,
slow down, partner.
Tap it. Yeah.
Brian, I'm gonna let you get up out of here, man. Get your exercise and all that. But we got those 5 guys. We'll come back and we'll talk about it tomorrow on the Doing All Right. Appreciate you, Woolchuck, for answering the phone for us. Y'all tap in with me, VOCHLOMB, every day. We try and get paid on Twitter. And BRY getting brought us on social medias and everywhere. All right? We'll catch y'all next time tomorrow. Do your homework. I'll do mine. Crown.